Okay, so I said I would do a Omlog for Gacha, and this is my Zone Zero account. I'm going to use keyboard and mouse, despite normally playing on a Xbox pad. Xbox, yeah, I play on a wired pad. $20. The controller is decent. The D-pad's kind of bad. I don't really like the D-pad. It could be better, but ED is what it is. That's fine. So I delayed this originally because this was supposed to come out 2 days ago. But first things first, it turns out that I got the dates wrong and it wasn't coming out on Wednesday morning, but it came out Wednesday evenings at like 10:30. That's when the servers went up. So I played for 2 hours at server launch, and then I went to bed, and I woke up at like 8, and then I played the rest of the story. And I have thoughts about the story, of course, so I'm going to share those with you for the ZZZ section of the Omlog. And I'm also going to discuss my future plans on like what I'm pulling and stuff, and also I guess my thoughts on the ZZZ meta and all that sort of stuff. So remember, this is not a multi-blood video. This is fucking gotcha. So if you don't like my multi-blood, if you don't like my gotcha stuff, click off now. But for those of you who are watching the first 3 minutes of this, just know that I will make a multi-blood video later tonight, but it's going to be H-Kkohaku specific. I actually did like a fuck ton of labbing for a VOD review that never came out, so I'm going to release the results of that labbing to the public so people can take it how they want, essentially. So no more multi-blood, straight to ZZZ. And the first thing I want to talk about is, I guess, the story. And I'm suppose while we are talking about the story, I'm going to do the strongest drawing boo, definitely not me. I'm going to do this part of the story and do this side thing because I'm going to be talking about the story for the most part. So I'm not going to be playing Deadly Assault. I need to do something that's like chiller, the normal, so that way the video part of this video is like actually useful. I'm sorry. But so the story, I really like the main story quest. Oh wait, I'm recording this. That means I can afford to just not read this. I can read it later, but just that's actually pretty cool. That's a useful part of recording this. Okay, so my thoughts on the story. I really like the 2.2 story generally. I think the thing about my opinions with this is that, like, to me, the Seed Agent story was like far and away like the best part of this story release that they just did. Um, oh, that's cool. Like, I really liked Orphe's backstory, but it kind of felt like it came out of nowhere in regards to the story. But like, okay, let me rewind from the very beginning. Okay, so I think the story in this patch was just good generally, but like one of my big deals is that I feel like the story for like the main story quest was like the concepts in the story were good. It's just that the pacing was just a little off in my personal opinion. It was like so close to being really good in my opinion. It was just a little bit off, just ever so slightly off from being amazing. And like to me, the big thing is that like there were some parts in the main story quest that I felt were ever so slightly misplaced. Holy shoot. What the? That guy just one shots you. Okay, nice to know. So I guess we need to move the slowers up front. Okay. Or have them get healed. Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to the story, like the intro for the story was very nice. I think the intro was a little slow to some people, but I think it kind of needed to be slow. Um, but like the tone that they set with the intro with the whole Magus backstory was really good, and I liked how they integrated the MCs into the quest at the start in regards to the whole, rounding up the exalted from the 2.2, like 2 point, not 2.2, 2.1, 2.1 story quest was like surprisingly good. I was not fucking expecting Alice and Yuza has to have one of the best stories in Zenless on Zero. at all. Like that came out of nowhere. Like I was going to pull for Yuzaha purely because of like gameplay reasons, but her having an amazing story was not on the bingo card, and I kind of wish that I pulled for Alice because her story was really really nice, but also yeah. So yeah, so I was pulling for Yuzuha anyway, but the story almost made me pull for Alice, but I didn't pull because I saved for this patch because I really, really, really wanted Orphe. So like I already liked Orphe, I already liked Seed. I was going to always skip Seed for Orphe. I think Seed's character story was amazing, and her character itself is really good. But like yeah, okay. Well, I'm getting sidetracked already, but 2.1 story quest. The intro was really good, but I feel like the middle-ish parts, like there was a lot of setup. I guess now that I think about it, like most of like the first 3 chapters of the story were all just setting the pieces in order for the very last part to really hit. But like, how do I put this? I think like I had 2 parts of the story that I think could have been improved, and that's like Orphe's backstory. Like Magus's backstory part was really, really, really well placed as like an intro setup to like undercurrent thing for the whole story. Orphe's is like kind of that Family Guy meme of when Peter is like to Quagsire, who the hell starts a conversation like that? That's my opinion when they start talking about how Orphe is a clone of the original Magus in order to keep a legendary soldier alive. It's really good lore, and I like the lore itself, and I like the way it was presented too. But it just feels like the conversation should have happened. I don't know. Maybe if there was more proxy Orphe interactions during the main story quest beforehand, or they were developing more of a relationship during the earlier parts of the main story quest, I wouldn't mind as much. But as it is right now, I feel like it's a little weird. Like I can kind of wave it off because Orphe is implied to surf Internaut and do all the sorts of activities when Magus is not looking, so she knows about Phaethon and she sees them as a hero already, which is probably why she's so willing to tell them right off the bat. But I feel like when it comes to the MC having to listen to this information, it would have been better if there was more character interaction beforehand, if that makes sense. I think that's like the only thing about the story that was like meh to me. Everything else about the story was really, really good. Although I did laugh when Isolde turned into that the Defiler. That's the name of the boss. When she turned into Defiler, I laughed because I realized that we're not getting her playable fucking ever, and the dream's dead. And oh, so many people want her playable. I kind of knew she wasn't going to be playable in my heart of hearts, although I really wanted her to be playable. I mean, they did introduce her as a villain, but then she was like completely helpful in that story quest. So everyone was like, "Oh, they were just lying. They lied to us. They didn't say she was going to be a villain. We just misheard." No, they were right. They were introducing her as a villain, and she started the villain at the point of the story, but it was a twist villain. So it's kind of like the devs kind of did an oopsie. They should have probably told us that she was a villain as soon as they did, but they did. So we just kind of have to live with the fact that people knew that she was going to be a villain way earlier than we probably should have. Let's put these here. So slow. What am I thinking of? Walk up to 3 enemies without attacking. I'm just gonna put this here. Are these debuff zones? I think they are. Okay. So let me just pause this and think of what I wanted to say next about the story. Okay, I guess we can talk about the climax now that I spent a little bit of time talking about the setup. The climax was really good. Like I already talked about how Isolde turned into the big bad, but I feel like the reasonings and motives behind Isolde being the big bad were actually really well done, surprisingly. It's not like what I originally thought happened, which in 2.0 we had the big miastic fiend, and I was kind of the opinion that was like a dupe, and then when we saw the new leader, I actually thought it was the same person, but instead we get told that Isolde got promoted after the first one died. And like Sarah didn't like that because she could smell that Isolde was a faker and she was actually a real I give a fucker. So she like essentially, Isolde's a good person who was really only with the bad guys in order to take revenge on the people who caused her platoon to die, right? Because the whole thing about the story is that the military is slightly corrupted or at the very top because people essentially tricked soldiers and sent out an order for soldiers to protect what they thought were people, but was in actuality just physical profit stuff. So valuable material. They were pretty much trying to they tricked soldiers into protecting crates of valuable materials at the cost of human life. Wow. And then Zolda finds out about this and she gets understandably pissed. And she decides that what she's going to make her life's mission is killing the people who decided that, hey, instead of protecting real civilians in this pretty much cataclysmic event, we're going to protect profits and we're going to use soldiers' lives in order to protect more profit. And she's understandably mad about that, and she decides to rank up higher in the military and hire as um, a cultist in order to play both sides, in order to use the cultists to kill her military supervisors without getting too big of a fuss. But again, in 2.0, the original head of the cultist group dies to take on Yishuan, and that was not a part of her plan, but because it was already super high up in the occultist group at that point, she gets promoted, and now she's in a really shitty position where she's literally the head of the cultist group, but she's also high in the military, and she has some morals, not like a huge moral plan, but like whatever, you know. So she's like, fuck it, if I'm going to, I'm essentially doomed at this point because I'm at the super high head of the cultists that are like trying to destroy the fucking world, right? So I might as well go with the original plan and kill the supervisors who decided that, oh, I will use my soldiers' lives in order to make myself a bigger bag. So she does that. She kills two people on screen in the story, which is I was not expecting that. She literally shoots one of them through not the head. They couldn't get away with that. So they shoot them ambiguously in the heart. So on camera too, and it's like it's a big holy shit moment. Like, oh shit, that dude actually fucking died on screen. A whole bunch of people die on screen in this story. A whole lot of soldiers too. So it's not like one of those, everything's fine. Just don't think about the. It's like they're bringing real weight to the world, which is something I liked. I know the gameplay on screen song that I'll finish it. I'll press the button and we'll actually yeah. So they're bringing real weight to the world by making it so that they're bringing real weight to the world by making it so that they can't you can't easily ignore the fact that there are people in this world, and they're setting up stakes properly by doing such a thing. So I liked it actually, surprisingly. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say surprisingly. I liked it predictably, I guess. There's. I think I'm going to finally talk about the real conclusion, which is that honestly, I was not expecting. I was not expecting the ending of the story to hit as hard as it did. Like I think, like the whole Isolde, like as soon as I knew Isolde was evil and that she was never ever going to be playable, I was kind of a little bit out. But I was just not expecting like that single fight that she has with that fight she has with Orphe, like that one-on-one fight she has at the very end, was like really surprising. Like, it was really well done. I actually liked like the integration of the combat and the storytelling in this patch was a lot better than it usually is. So I was actually pretty glad about that. Um, I was actually kind of a little bit confused though because normally when the bad guys get killed out of the super advanced fiend, the etheric fiend state, they normally just immediately die afterwards. And despite us hitting her with Orphe's lasers, Yishuan's etheric metal, and all sorts of bullshit, she doesn't die, and she said fine enough to hold a 1v1 fight versus Orphe right after. But I think it's mostly done for narrative reasons, so it makes sense and it's fine. I don't have like a huge issue with it or anything. I just thought it was interesting. But again, I guess Bringer was like he was the test subject, and now that we're in 2.0 and the villains have improved the serum that they use to talk to their creator, and they also got like a new hand sign thing on their arm to symbolize that they're links to their creator now, and they got cool etheric powers and bullshit. So I guess it makes sense, and it's not like too jarring. But going to have maybe like a bad guy in the future who can turn into an etheric fiend of that high level, who can cosplay as a civilian, I think it's something we're going to see more of in the future in regards to the story. What was the thing that I unlocked? Well, didn't pay attention. So, I guess I should talk about the very, very end of the story right now. Okay, so let's do that. At the end of the story, we see a little bit of a teaser of sorts for 2.4, although it's kind of interesting because we already know for a fact that 2.4 is going to be focused on Swoop Shack again with Yudhari and Lucia. So it's kind of weird that we're seeing like this thread being set up now. So I'm kind of curious what they do with the thread in the future. But for those of you who aren't aware, we get told that Yishuan, the horse dude that's a part of who's a part of Yunque Summit, is talking one-on-one to the big bad of the Exaltus, which is Sarah, who has pretty much been a villain since season 1, so we know she's going to be really, really important. And we are curious on what she's going to do, but she talks to... That's the wrong path? Damn, I messed up. I need to put something here. Oops. I mean, luckily you only need at least 7 HP to finish it. Alright, okay. Alright, so Yishuan to Sarah, who's the big bad from season 1. So the fact that they're on speaking tones is curious already. I think I'm gonna restart this. Yeah, I'm just gonna restart. Anyway, so the fact they're on speaking terms is interesting. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to... I shouldn't have done this, actually. The fact they're on speaking terms at all is interesting, but more so is that we know that the reason that, that he's interesting at all is that he has a sister who is supposedly wielding the King's Sword, and that sword is like Omega Duper Breasted, but the thing is, I forgot the pattern again. Anyway, the thing about the sword is that it's super duper strong, but we don't know all that much about it right now. We just know that it's strong. But the fact that he has like a wish that he's willing to talk to the Exaltus about at all makes it sort of interesting. Like, what's that going to deal with as a setup for 2.04 in the future reason that has the damn, Spook Shack. Like, what's gonna happen with Spook Shack and all that nonsense that will make it so interesting and necessary for us to know about his wish. Okay, now that I'm done with most of the story, I think I'm going to talk about Seed's. I'm going to talk about Seed's character story now. Seed's character story to me was like easily like the best part of this update, like completely. Like, Seed's story was like, it hit all the emotional beats that it needed to, and it did them really, really, really well. Like, I think it's like far and away like the best character story they've released ever. Like, I think the only one that's even like close to similar is, I think the only one that's nearly as good is, I guess, Triggers. Triggers was also really good, but like this one blows Triggers out of the water, and I guess I'm gonna spoil it. I spoiled everything else, and it's like I'm not paying fucking enough attention to the gameplay, so I might as well talk about the story. The end where they are like, yo, Seed's not coming back, he's dead, and the whole point of the story is for Seed to come to terms with the fact that someone who was a father figure in her life is dead, that she needs to fully grasp that in order to, move on it and improve as a person, was very poignant and nice. And the whole like breakdown final message with Seed's final message playing as Seed sobs over it was really, really well done. The whole story is just amazing. Like the conflict in it, like the gameplay parts of it were all good. The story was just really good. And now that we're 20 minutes in, I do have to write a notepad and be like, yo, I spent 20 minutes yapping about this story. Let's talk about gameplay shit. Okay, let's talk about gameplay stuff. So this part will actually move somewhat faster because I do need a multi-bed recording that I need to do. So notepad, 20 minutes in, I start talking about gameplay stuff. Okay, Deadly Assault. Let's talk about this real quick. I already got 9 stars, as you can see. My teams were... I did Harumasa, Nicole, Trigger. For Miasmic Fiend, I have Piper, Vivian, Yuzaha. And for Priest, I did Astra, Panyanhu, and Yishuan. Okay, so those were the 3 teams I did. I got 9 stars. None of my scores were really high because I actually never played Harumasa before. Like, what I did for my Harumasa is hilarious. I literally just,
I can't wait to hear the sound of the sea!
Bro, I really like Yuzaha's voice, but that line makes me pissed off so much.
Is it time to clock out?
I literally just took my Evelyn Sis and I found a random set of Thunder Metal. I literally had never farmed Thunder Metal, so I don't know why I have so many decent Thunder Metal pieces. Even, like, they're not amazing, but they're decent, I guess. And what I did was I used my Evelyn's D6. I'm gonna put it back on her in a bit. And this was like my build. Again, I'm pulling Evelyn's Wenjin at the second part of the...
I'll ask my colleagues.
At the second part of the patch. So, like, the plan is I have a guaranteed setup
Is it time to clock
for
out?
Orphe. Like, as you can see, I'm 20 pulls away, 30 pulls away from guarantee. I need to make sure I don't accidentally fucking hit the button. If I hit the button, I get C. I'm going to be so mad. You can see I have a fuck ton of pulls. Like, I have, like, almost 90 something pulls, and by the end of the version I'll have enough pulls. Like, the plan is to get Orphe's Wenjin, then get Evelyn's Wenjin, and then use my guarantee that I set up. Let me get my where is the pull history? I think it's in details. Search history. You can see that I lost my last 50-50. I was trying to get a M2 Miyabi, but I lost it. I really wanted the M2 Miyabi for harming this bullshit, but, like, it's not super important. Yeah, I got Lycon instead of a Miyabi, so I have an M2, like, some nonsense. Let me double check.
Wait to hear the sound
I
of
think
the
it's
sea.
I
M2.
shall follow your orders.
Yeah, M2 Lycon. So I wanted to get M2 Miyabi, I got M2 Lycon instead. I was like, fine, I'll just pull as much as I can on for the M2 Miyabi. If I don't get it, I just save the pulls for Seed, and not Seed, for Orphe, and that's what I'm doing. I already have Orphe pre-farmed, and I know what we need to pre-farm her thanks to this event they're doing.
Wanna hear a summer story?
What is the event? Right here, F1. I normally play with a controller to maneuver around, so... Story broadcast. Nope, wrong one. That's the original story. This is the battle. 3 is the one we can see Orphe stalks. Orphe, pre-farm stuff. And you can see...
I'm not late, am I?
I have the whole shebang pre-farmed already. I have like a billion fire things. I literally only need Evelyn Wenjin nonsense. If I storage... Wrong stuff. Okay. I have a whole bunch of fire chips for her skills. I have hamster cage passes. I have a trillion of those. I have a whole bunch of Denny's, Battle Pass, and all this nonsense I need. I really just need W Engine and modules for leveling up the 2 S rank ones I'm about to get. But other than that, I guess I can talk about my thoughts on the meta. You know, that thing everyone likes complaining about. Let me pull up a tier list in a separate tab. Let's go to Prejuin, and let's go to character 8. Let's go to this tier list. So everyone's mad about this tier list because Trigger is in tier 1 and Orphe in tier 1 and Caesar is a tier 1.5. I'm gonna be real. I get people complaining about Trigger. You could argue. My personal opinion on tier list, real quick, is that Nicole is tier 0. It's a mistake that will never happen again. Trigger, I actually sort of agree with this. I have Trigger with her Wenjin, as you can see on my account, and Trigger with her Wenjin really is that lady. She's like the strongest character on my account with her Wenjin because I can use her on like everything. But like without her Wenjin, I don't know if I would be using her like that. I guess like 35% stun modifier, even outside of stun, is strong, but I don't think it's that strong as much as it is like with the when you have that defense down. On top of that multiplier, it's a whole bunch of multiplier goodness, and more death shred is beneficial. The more death shred you have, the greater the damage increase is how it works. I'm 90% sure because that's how it works in Granblue and like every other fucking gacha. So I assume in this game, more death down is better, and it scales like multiplicatively when it comes to death down. So having her Wenjin is like really really big. I think she's like tier 0 with Wenjin personally, but like that's beside the point. Like, this got people really mad. This got people mad. I think the issue is that Anomaly is just so much better than fucking Attack. And like, in order to make this rotation like more attack focused, they nerfed Anomaly on like one of the bosses. Like, literally, it's flat out Anomaly does 25% less damage or something. And like, people are mad about that, but also Anomaly's been being shielded since the very beginning of the game, so I'm not actually all that against Anomaly. Like, one of the best DPSs in the game, A-rank Anomaly character, and the only A-rank Anomaly. And that's probably why we're never going to get another A-rank Anomaly. People are mad about Caesar. I'm gonna be real, she deserves this. I have Caesar on my account. I have her with her Wenjin. I don't use her anymore because Trigger is like way better even without her Wenjin. I literally have her Wenjin and I use her Wenjin more on fucking Panyan Hu than I use it on her. Not having the buff on both characters is really, really, really bad, and it makes her pretty much unusable. I really, instead of Sandby being the one who's getting a buff, it really should be her to be like, I don't know. They just need to buff her. She's really not good. I like her too. Like, I really like her. That's why I got her Wenjin. But like, damn. I pulled her Wenjin and her on like her release too, so that's how you know I like her. I pulled her like a whole ass year ago. The character's not good. Everything else about this list is kind of fine. You could argue that Siege should be in tier 0.5, but like, I don't know, bro. She's using a lot of buffs, like the stage buffs, in order to do decently, to get similar results to Yanagi on like, when you're doing like a Yanagi who's not on a buff that's like anti-anomaly, and you're doing them both like on an even player field. I believe Yanagi is still testing better. Like, people get really mad about this tier list when it's usually like a half decent like jumping off point when you're talking about like how characters rank amongst each other. Like, I guess like no one talks about how Hugo is still here when he's been performing closer to like these characters than up here. Like, these two are like actually arguably put them up in tier 0. And like Yanagi too. Yanagi's like sort of busted because she just has inbuilt disorder up in her kit and her Wenjin. Like, people get so tied up about this character's tier list stuff, and they keep taking it as word of God as opposed to like a really good discussion jumping off point into what makes characters strong, and it kind of pisses me off. Actually, let's talk about Deadly Assault and my opinion on the bosses real quick. I'm still like, what? Let me double check. 28 minutes, and we're still in the ZZ part. I think I talked about most of the stuff. I talked about it decently enough, so I don't mind it too badly going on a little bit of a tangent on the Deadly Assault bosses. I actually really like this rotation. I think the worst boss here is Miasma Priest. I actually liked the Defiler. I like playing the Defiler. I'm not really good at Harumasa, nor am I good at Evelyn. Like, part of it is I don't have an amazing attack Wenjin. I have Ellen's signature right now for attack Wenjins, and that's it. And like, Ellen's signature is really, really good on Ellen, but not really versatile. We go into storage and we go into Wenjins for attack. You'll see. Is it here? This one? Okay, yeah. If we go into S rank attack agents, I literally have Brimstone and Evelyn. I'm mostly using A rank ones for most of my agents. I have Mikado on Evelyn. I have the Gilded Blossom one. You know, I have all this nonsense that I can use. And like, I guess my account is ever so slightly more anomaly focused because I pulled Miyabi, and like, I guess like the fact that I have the battle pass engine helps a lot in regards to that because the battle pass anomaly engine is really strong. Although I do kind of regret getting the. I think I got the defense Was it defense or stun? Oh, it was stun. I got the battle pass stun engine to max, like 6 shooter. This shit is ass. No one uses this anymore because Steam oven exists. So it's like, damn, I really kind of spent like what is essentially like $50+ on a engine that no one fucking uses anymore. When fossilized core and Steam oven are so much better. I even have Hellfire gears and yeah, it's like yeah. Kind of regret this purchase, but it's fine. Like I have Yishuan's engine because Yishuan's engine is looking to be Omega broken, like in the long things, because all three Rupture agents are supposedly scaling off of HP. So that makes this 30% HP and 20% crit rate like an amazing statistic for future Rupture agents. This engine was actually a really good pickup because it's like the only usable defense engine. I don't know why they hate this class so much. That all the defense characters are like so fucking dog shit, and all their engines are bad too. So it's like not even like come on, man. Like this is the only good engine, and it's because it provides a 20% general all damage up. Like come on, man. Anomaly, I should have gotten Yishuan's and Wenjin, but I just wanted to say, I like attackers more than Anomaly. I just have a bunch of Anomaly characters because that's what they pushed in 1.0. And attack, like, yeah, I'm going to be getting Evelyn's Wenjin and Orpheus Wenjin, which should, like, pretty much hold me over until they create a new attack character that I really, really want. Because I like Haramasa. I had fun playing Haramasa for the first time literally yesterday as I was
I
trying
can't
to
wait to hear the
clear the
sound of
boss.
Is it time to
This
clock
character is
out?
fun, and I'm going to use Evelyn's engine on him on top of using her engine on Evelyn herself. So it's gonna be fun to play
Need something?
on these sort of
You'll ask
bosses.
my
Sure.
colleagues.
I'm going to talk about the actual bosses now since I waffled about so long. This boss is fine. A lot of people don't like the fact that there's like a minute or two of uninteractiveness. My personal gripe about this boss is that I like the wave mechanic is cool. I don't actually mind the shield guys at the very end. I think it's kind of lame, but it's also like near the very end, and it's not that long as a intermission segment. I don't like the big spinny parry thing that she does because it just takes too long. And which you're like, on one hand, they're trying to make it so you're always getting like max performance points. They need like a score breakdown and a DPS breakdown for these, frankly, because it's like kind of hard to like. Okay, they're trying to make it so you can get max performance points as easily as possible, so new players don't have to worry about getting like 14k points. But they kind of make the fight a little bit annoying in order to do so. I like this boss a lot. I just think that the big spinny part is like omega fucking annoying. This boss I like because I built Piper for this boss, and Piper and Vivian is one of those teams that's super duper strong and relatively fun. There's only one part of this boss that's ass, and it's the 3 seconds in which she is not on screen and you're just waiting for her to give you your performance points. That part is dog shit, but like, it's whatever. This boss is ass because the pattern is just bad. Playing this boss is just not fun when you get bad patterns and have to restart. Like it's really easy to 3-star because I have Yishuan, I have Astra, I have Pinyin 2, I also have Trigger, so I can always like 3-star this boss. And I like trying to get better times on it, but it's kind of annoying that so many of the patterns are so dog shit. Like outside of the very like first 30 seconds of the boss, whatever it does afterwards is like restart the city, man. I don't like that part. And the fact that she can get impaired and I don't like the very tail end of this boss. It's annoying. I mean, it's still fun. I still enjoy having like on one hand, there are people who are like, "Oh, I want the boss to have a consistent pattern every time." I think that you actually don't want that. I mean, I like DA because it reminds me of speedrunning bullshit. And the speedrunning bullshit, if it's too simple and it's too repeatable, you get really boring runs that are easy to optimize. So some I like some level of fight RNG, but it's also like man, if it's too bullshit RNG and it's too dependent on bullshit, it's like it's not fun either. So I think that's it for all my Zenless thoughts. 30 minutes of that. Just going to recap real quick. The 2.2 story was really good. There was like a couple of parts that I felt like needed a little bit more build up, like Orphe's backstory. But like outside of that, I think the rest of it was really well done. Seed's agent story was amazing, easily the best agent story, and that's high praise considering that Trigger's agent story was really good as well. And I guess another agent story that I like as much as Triggers and Seeds. I mean, I'm not going to count Astra and Jane's story as character stories, even though they kind of work as those. But I guess King Nee's character story was fun, but I liked it because of TV mode. So I think if you don't have TV mode, I have not played it since they changed TV mode to be the Bangblue 64 thing. Don't know if King Nee's story is still as amazing as it was when I first played it. So yeah, stories are good. It's kind of funny that they're doing the Tower Bangbu shit as soon as WuWa's doing it. I think WuWa's Tower stuff is actually really surprisingly fun. People were glazing it on Twitter as like a mode that needs to be permanent. That's really good. I don't think it's that good, but I think it's funner than the Bangbu stuff. Although they're very clearly trying to make the Bangbu stuff more fun. Maybe at the end of the Bangbu event, I'll think both are really well done. But Bangbu Tower the last time was mega boring, and I did that in like an afternoon. It took a bit, but it was not hard, nor was it all that interesting. But it was there. Could have been worse, you know. Could have always been dodged, but it was passable. And events. We are still waiting on the next like couple of events into the patch. If we go into Esk and we go into notice and we go into schedule, there's still like 4 more events in the patch that we've yet to see. 2 of them will happen at the tail end of the patch with Orphe and Evelyn. And we'll figure out. Like I think like this event is going to be like one of those events that's like, oh, just log in and play the game. Spotlight Showdown is the one I'm thinking is going to be interesting. Like these two, like Spotlight Showdown and Problem Soldier Bootcamp, I believe are the ones with potential. Everything else is like treasure in that chest hunt might be interesting. Might be. I expect it to be mind numbing. Rhythm Rave is definitely going to be mind numbing. Like that rhythm game mode that they showcased was fucking ass, bro. I can't even lie to you. But it looks like you'll at least have fun songs that you can listen to because this game's OST is really good. So I expect it to at least have that. People are complaining about Deadly Assault HP inflation. I guess I should have talked about that with the bosses, but personally, I don't think it's that big a deal. Like, I know people always get mad when you say, oh, but you can just 14k all the bosses and get max polychrome rewards. But to me, like, that's the big deal. It means that this endgame mode, that literally only gives, like, how many pulls for 2 weeks? It's like 60 pulls. I don't even think it's a lot. Let me double. I do it because Deadly Assault's fun to try to get better at, but, like, 150, that's a pull. 300, no, it's 50 times 6, so yeah, I got it right first time. 300 pulls, that's literally 2 days of logins, man. Although that's 2 days of logins with a $5 daily login thing. I don't think, it's like 2 pulls, man. I think people get too hung up on getting max rewards on Deadly Assault, or getting 9 stars. 9 stars should be hard. I think it's hard now, although maybe like you can argue that catching up as a new player is hard to get 9 stars, but I don't think new players should be worried about getting 9 stars on this shit. They should just get 6 stars and just dip out. I think it's really cool that there's a mode that encourages you to reset a whole bunch and play in order to try to get best time or best score. That's what I like about speedrunning, and that's why I've speedran for so long. That's the first game of this Gacha roundup. Remember, we're talking about 3 games here. But the next two games I'm going to kind of blitz through because again, I do want to make a multiplayer video tonight. I can upload in about 2 hours, so we're going to like move over to the next game, which is going to be Grand Blue Fantasy. So give me a second, pause this recording, and move over to that. Okay, so I'm using Audio Relay for free mic because remember my old mic broke and I'm too cheap to replace it. Will replace it in the next like month or so. If you guys got any mic recommendations, I will listen to them. Okay, so just gonna talk about Grand Blue Fantasy real quick. Not a lot has happened in the Grand Blue space. I guess that's actually a bit of a lie. We just got our summer event done, so we got the summer characters, which were Summer Halcina, Summer Katura, Summer Atom, and I believe a few others. I can't fucking remember them, so you know they weren't all that important. But you know what? Let's talk about this in good faith. Uh, I'm gonna pull up the GBF wiki from the Prudent tab, and let's see new characters. Why did I hit edit? That's not good. I want to say let's Okay, let's see the new characters. There's Serial, who's super broken, who I skipped because I didn't want to spend pools on a save. There's this Ursula who to deal with DA Olivia, and she was a part of the new event that just ended. Oh, cool. Guild Wars starts on a Sunday. That's so wonderful. Honestly, I might just fucking peace out this Guild War. I might just do Horde for the whole time. Right, so new characters. This was important. He's super duper strong, and he's important for this Guild War. Again, I skipped because I'm going to say for Christmas. She is okay. She's like a super defensive character in Earth, but I don't think Earth needed that. But she's nice to have in case Earth does need that. New character uncap. Beatrix, I did not actually pay attention. Remember to check if Beatrix uncap did anything of note. When it comes to these updates for balanced characters, I think the big one was Yukata Namaya and I believe Albert Dark. Not that Albert Dark is strong or used for anything now, but he's just not complete dog shit because he has double strike. These are the two summer characters. From what I understand, Hasilia is like pretty much just a evoker skin. She's not good at all. Summer Couture though is pretty strong from what I understand. She gives in super long fights she gives the MC Assassin, and Assassin is pretty much one of the strongest buffs in this game to give. So the fact she gives it to the MC with decent, like even though it takes fucking forever in order to get this, but like again 50% sharp attack up is strong. She has a bunch of debuffs and she gets a lot of buffs to the MC and shit. So you know it's like she is strong. People were sleeping on her on release, but I kind of knew that she was going to be like strong because she had assassin and she had good defensive and offensive buffs for the MC. Killua and oh yeah, Hunter x Hunter collab happened, and then all these characters were like these two were surprisingly strong for collab characters, which was a little bit of an eyebrow raise in the community because like they first said that these characters would never ever be Guild War viable, and that's a fucking lie because the summon is being used this Guild War to give Magna Dark guaranteed triple attack rate. So that's a bit of an eye raise right there. But like these two are not bad. I actually luck sacked into getting Kurapika and 2 copies of the summon, but I'm gonna be real, I ain't stoning that shit. Like yeah, guaranteed triple attack is strong, but also that's like stones on a fucking collab summon for a series that I've literally never read. No, sorry. Um, and these were the other summer characters, were just Summer Lick and Summer Cassius. I think both of these were kind of flops. I think Summer Lick was the better of the two of these, but I didn't hear, like, other than the art being extremely beautiful, I didn't hear much about Summer Lick. I'm gonna keep it real. Summer Cassius, I don't think he fucking did anything. Looking at his kit now for the like first time ever, it has flurry and bonus damage and sub, so it can't be like complete dog shit. But it doesn't look all that interesting. And again, Summer Korwa and Summer Atom. I think Summer Atom's a charge bar character, and charge bar and fire is Omega Law. And Summer Korwa was interesting. I mean, Yukata Korwa. She has a summer version already. Also, this is the first time I'm seeing like the art one. Damn, that's fucking beautiful. But also, oh yeah, she's auto Korwa, Korwa that works as when you press full auto, because she cast her shit like automatically, from what I understand, and it works. Yeah, it actually. Yeah, it actually works in full auto, which is something all the other cores that don't do. You have to like manual with the other cores. This one. Also, they finally released Sun as a Gacha summon for, but they did it for Wind, and they made it so that in order to get it, you need like 3 Sunstones. This shit is going to be super duper important eventually, and they made it. Sexy cat lady from like a couple Guild Wars ago. She's going to be broken eventually. Like when Guild Wars gonna come out around, and you're going to get summer checked by this bullshit. So if you're a Wind player, your antics has been decided, assuming you didn't spark this banner. And I don't know. I kind of don't like that, but it's whatever. And I think that's it for like new characters in GBF. So let's talk about my account real quick. When it comes to spending, I did a little bit of spending. I bought like the uncapped set for like you can't see it anymore because I bought it already, I believe. Weapon grid gift box. Oh no, you can. I picked the wind one, as you can see, it has soul on it, and that was so I could get a second Earth Exalta. Right now, yen is a little weak, so instead of it being like $50 for 5,000 yen, it was more like 36 to $40 for 5,000 yen, which is still kind of cheap. But at the end of the day, this is saving me a spark on Flash, I think. Let me double check that real quick. Let me double check. Medusa Grand doesn't automatically. She's on Flash, right? Premium Gala. No, she's on leg. Well, that kind of blows because I need Sieg and Serial, so I was going to spark leg anyway because I have all the Flash characters. So I guess it's not saving me a spark on leg because I'm going to be forced to spark leg at the end of the year for the Fire Zodiac anyway. So I guess it's not that big a deal. But you kind of want 3 anyway, so it's not that big a deal. I guess it's still saving me a spark, and it just means my Earth right now I can use double Exalta immediately. But it was worth the purchase for me. If there's just anything I buy, I don't buy these anymore unless they have stone. But like again, $36 for a whole ass stone is kind of especially since I'm going to probably use that stone on Zeus and Light Guild Wars now for a while, and by the time Light Guild War comes around, I'll be able to probably turn those stones into Zeus copies for my Primal Light. Let me go into inventory real quick. Right. I was working on this is the big thing. I was working on my transcendence, but as you saw earlier, just like 5 minutes ago, the bad news is that Guild War is tomorrow morning and my Seahawks is still 110. I'm actually being gated by rusted fists. I kid you not. This is I've been I'm gonna be real with you. This Guild War is not it's not looking so hot, bro. I still need to farm 4 times how many fists am I missing? That's 6. I need to farm 16, 17 fists from PB normal, and then I'll have 120. I have the match for 140, but like, bro, I don't even have a H-Kkohaku. Like, I could buy a H-Kkohaku, I think. I'm barely any moons off from fucking a H-Kkohaku. Let me double check. A wrong story. Great moons. Literally 7 moons off from buying a H-Kkohaku. I mean, if I sparked Burial, I would have enough moons to buy a H-Kkohaku. I think I'm just going to take the L, and Dark Guild War is going to be a event for me. It's like, it's fine. Like, I don't have the thing. I didn't even do any like Fall Zeros. I was actually super hyped to get back into Fall Zero and do it with my upgraded fire, but I just could not be bothered because I've been spending more time on WuWa and Zenless Zone Zero recently. I still like Grand Blue, and I'm still going to do like my minimums and shit because, again, the bullshit class comes out on the 19th, and we know you're going to need 300 Valor badges in order to unlock it. And if we go into shop again, we'll see that I already have enough Valor badges to pick up a stone already. If we go into treasure trade, quest items, if we go into events, Dread Barrage without badges, you'll see that I have 160. So I'll just grab the 300. I'll just grab it immediately, and I believe my crew does well enough that I'll be able to grab the stone and the thing. I mean, normally I grab the stone and the blue paper, but like I guess not in this situation because I gotta fucking grab the uncapped cat thing. So it is what it is. I mean, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to farm enough fists in order to get Seox to 120 and then level him up via Guild War and get him to 140 that way. But like, it's too late for my account to do Guild War at this point. I will have an EX Plus setup that I'm barely going to fucking use. I'm just going to hoard the whole thing, frankly, because I can't be asked. But it is what it is, okay? Like my Guild War, my Grand Blue account for this season is ass, and it will be improved later, I guess, because it's fine. Like if it's not fire or earth, it's not super duper important for me. Although I guess my account is in healthy enough position that I'm getting really good requests like this. Like this is like fucking amazing. Like 170, 240, 170, 210. Like this is good. I'm going to accept that one. But like yeah, my Grand Blue count kind of dog shit poo poo pants right now, but yeah. I don't know what Guild Wars is after this, though. I think we just finished what we did fire. This is dark. I think we are starting a full new cycle, so we actually don't fucking know. I don't think it's going to be wind or light because I believe light was relatively recently. I think light was before fire, so this is probably going to be wind, water, or earth. If it's earth, I'm gonna have to fucking fix up my account real quick. But if it's the other two, man, I might do the same thing I do for this goal. I'm going to try to get 4 billion honors, but I'm going to try to do it like as full auto-y as possible because my schedule this week does not really work for Guild War. Prelims on Sunday is always ass. Monday being the intermission day is actually amazing. Tuesday I have off for a day one, which is good. But like my Wednesday and Thursdays, normally I don't work Thursday, but this week I work Wednesday, Thursday, and I have Friday, Saturday off. That's really bad because Wednesday, Thursday is day one and day two, I believe, or day two or day three. Those days are really important to manual, and I'm not going to be able to manual in the mornings like I do. I normally in Guild War, I manual from 6 to 10, and I wake up the next day, I take a shower and eat breakfast, and then I manual 6 to 10 again. But I'm not going to be able to do that, and if I'm not able to manual 6 to 10, I normally don't manual like the night before because I'm like, who the fuck cares? So if I'm not able to do that, and I'm not able to get 4 billion honors to max out the skin as soon as possible, who cares? It is what it is. I'm not super pressed about Dark Guild War. I'm just going to be in it for the rewards. I will probably be able to do the rewards fast enough. It's fine. I mean, mid Guild War, I'll probably get enough moons in order to buy a Reshka gold, but I don't know if I'll buy it. Like, I'll buy it if it makes like full autoing shit so much easier. Like, my grid for Dark is actually good. Like, it's not bad at all. So what time is it? 8:54. Okay, this is not as late as night as I normally record, so I actually do have time. If we turn off Grand real quick, and you'll see that I actually have a Mark II staff around here. I think. Okay, that's not Mark II. Neither of these is Mark II. Well, oops. I have. Let me fix that real quick on the recording. Okay. Holy shit. It's I have 5 staffs and I don't have any Mark II. Well, I have enough materials as you can see for 2 Mark II staffs, so I guess I'm gonna do that real quick because that's embarrassing. So I have 2 Mark II Attack Awakened staffs. So I'm going to be counting on those staffs in order to carry me in Guild War, I guess. I only farmed 2. I know I probably should have farmed 4 because I think 4 was the holy shit, I'm actually gated by Fedials. Oh no, that's fucking hard. That's not good. I mean, I guess I had enough materials from like freedom points from when I was farming. I guess I had enough materials from when I was farming. What am I trying to say? Brain work. From when I was farming Siegfried, I guess I got enough like FP points from that I was able to get the bullshit. But like, bro, that's not good. Anyway, I have 2 Mark II Forbidden Legacy stats, which is a huge stuff. I have 4 of the Celeste Fists. I actually have 5. I actually bothered farming a 5th one because I saw a few setups that use 5, so I just farmed a 5th one to make sure. I have the Celeste Fist. I have all the nonsense. I'm pretty like my Magna is in a decent shape, all things considered, despite the fact that my Opus is only 200 and not 2. Wait, my Opus is 230? Holy shit! I'm actually safe. I didn't even know. I thought my Opus was 200. Okay, you know what? Actually, I'll be decent for this guild. Apparently, last guild war I fucking blew. I actually farmed this shit. Um, I think if my Opus 230, I think the only thing I'm missing is like 256 and then the stupid Draconic. Because actually, wait, is this the first guild war that 250 is going to be extra grid? I think it is. I think not having Draconic is going to be the big thing that I'm missing, but I'm actually surprisingly well equipped for this guild war now that I look at my account again. Like, holy, okay, I'm chill. I'll be good to be a full auto baby for like the first 5 days of guild war because I'm sorry. Um, I might buy a Reshkagul in the middle of Guild War if it makes a big difference. Since I have 2 Mark II stats, I think 2 is like the bare minimum, and I think it's like near the max. I think you don't see 4 Mark II stats anymore that often. But if it happens that you need 4, I'm just gonna be like, man, this game sucks. I'm just gonna log off. I think that's like 20 minutes for Grand Blue. And I think that's it for what I want to talk about Grand Blue. So I'm going to move on to Wuthering Waves. Although we'll talk about Wuthering Waves when we get to Wuthering Waves. So just give me a second to get there. Okay. Last game. And I think it's going to be, well, normally I could go on about Wuthering Waves for about 50 minutes, but I think today what we're going to do is that we're going to do my dailies while I talk about the story and I guess the quest. Okay, so I saved about 300 pulls or something for, not 300, god, I wish I had 300 pulls. Let me do daily quests. I saved about, I think, a full S guarantee for Augusta. I lost my 50-50, which, is one of those amazing feelings that you gotta love when you play God. Miss your 50-50. My original plan was to get Augusta her weapon, and then it got revealed that, oh no, they're rerunning Shorekeeper along with Augusta, and Shorekeeper, for those of you who don't know, is essentially like the Astra Yao of Wuthering Waves. You really want Shorekeeper in your account because she's a general script buffer, and y'all know how strong that is. And Wuthering Waves doesn't even have something like Anomaly that like doesn't benefit off of crit at all. Like, I guess Astra Yao applies like 2,000 bullshit attack, not 2,000, 1,200 attack, and then 20% generalist damage up. Blah 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 blah. The point of the fact is that every single attacker in WuWa base it scales off of crit. So the fact that she's like so generalist buffer is super strong. So I wanted to get Augusta and her weapon, but now I'm faced with the fact that I now have to try to get a 50-50 on Shorekeeper. I don't have enough pulls for that, but the thing is, as you can see in my quest log, I have a fuck ton of quests. I have 8 character stories, and these all give about like 300, 400, 500 of the currency. So each of these is like generally like half a pull, because normally they unlock new bases on the map for you to explore and play around with. Let me up the background music a little bit. I don't think it should be too bad. I'm going to pray that it's not horrible. I want to at least make you hear it, but like I think, but like this, it should be fine. I was checking auto levels earlier, and they looked fine, but this should be okay. So anyway, I have a whole bunch of these. I have 3 event quests. I mostly finished the tower defense mode that we're going back from like an hour ago when I was talking about Zone 0's tower defense mode. I actually liked the WuWa ones a lot more. At first, it was like, but I think the end part is actually decently hard and interesting and requires you to actually pay attention to the screen, so I think that's actually good. And it's kind of fun to set up those traps that get the monsters off the map by just yoinking and sweeping them off the map. I think it's cool. I actually think that the WuWa one is like really well designed, surprisingly. Like I think people were kind of glazing WuWa a little bit in regards to the event, but I think it's actually like I think it's better than the Zenless Zone Zero Tower mode. But again, Zenless is upgrading the Tower mode literally this event, so we haven't seen like the whole shebang of the Zenless Tower mode, so we're going to see that more as the event rolls out in the next 4 or so days. So maybe I'll hit back with you guys and talk about this event. It's whatever. But as you can see, I have a whole bunch of side quests to do that will probably net me both those rewards, and also if we go into the shop, you will see like I'm also a light spender, so I will probably grab this $29.99 15 pulls plus 500 astrites. I'm saving these because we know that Zani's getting the skin, and I picked up this game for Zani, so I will get her skin even if I don't have Phoebe in order to play with Zani. Also, the 75, 70, 80 supply pack, that's another 15 pulls, so that's like 30 pulls that I can use to attempt to convene Shorekeeper. If I fail my 50-50 on Shorekeeper, if I fail 2 50-50s in a row, I'm going to be mad regardless. But if I fail them both, like, let me see how many pulls I am away from the 50-50 at this point. I think I'm 30 or 40 pulls into this. Yeah, so I'm 30 pulls into the 50-50. If I fail it after like dumping like 60 pulls into it, I'm keep it real. I'm keep a stack. I'm just gonna skip. I'm just going to skip Iono and Leak. Leaks on the street are saying that the Source 2 Kion is going to be a journalist crit damage buffer that will be well with Augusta and all their characters. So I might just pick him up instead, because he's supposed to be another crit buffer. Instead of buffing crit rate and crit damage, he's supposed to be all crit damage and echo damage. So I might just pick him up and skip Storekeeper if I fail the 50-50. I'm gonna be real, but hopefully I win it. I'll keep you guys posted on that, I guess. And when it comes to that, I think we're done with like my WuWa account checkup, because I'm gonna be real with you. I'm trying to farm echoes in this game. I don't know how to do it. I think I'm just doing something wrong. My echoes for every single character that I play are like dog shit, and like look at this crit ratio. It's like it's 150 default for crit damage, so this is like plus 50 plus 80 or something. And it's like, 64 crit hit rate, like, wow, disgusting. And you look at my echoes. This one is okay, I guess. Like, oh, this one's ass. This one, ass. This one, ass. Like, this one would be amazing if she scaled off attack, but she doesn't, so it's ass. I literally have to re-roll that one. This one is actually good. This was the only, like, good echo that I have on my Cartesia, and my Cartesia is my strongest character. Oh, I don't even, like, 6% crit rate. Oh my. And the worst part is, I'm trying to roll stuff in order to get better shit. But like, I'm always out of rolling materials in this game. Is this just like the pain of being a new player because I'm not day one in this game, that I don't have materials to throw into the Echo Gacha as often? Like, bros, like, I'm not done building my Gacha, so she doesn't count. Lupa, I never even got to finish. Like, bro, 45 crit rate, 28 crit damage, like, fucking kill me, bro. I guess she doesn't have a weapon because I didn't pull her Sig, but, like, brother, these echoes stink. I don't know how to fix it either, because, like, I play every day, I do my dailies, I my shit, like, bro, so I played this game for Zani, and look at my damn Zani, 30 crit rate. She feels so dog shit to play, and I can't fix it because her echoes are gone. I don't have her Sig either because I was trying to get P, and I lost my P 50-50. Like, I have 2 really good echoes on this account, and they're both 1-star, bro. Just fucking end me. No, I tried, and I can't get good echoes, and it's, oh my god. I'll see y'all in like another month or 2, and maybe by then I'll have good echo rolls, but my echo rolls are literally the stuff that legends are made out of. Not good. Like this one is, I guess, a good enough echo. Like somehow my damn encore that I literally never use. I built her for a mono fusion team with Lupa, and like, bro, she's somehow the best built when it comes to echoes. And her crit damage is still dog shit, by the way. She just has a whole bunch of energy regen. Bro, is it over for me? No. I can't fix this, bro. It's like maybe I just need time. Just give me a year. I started with a 1 year anniversary in WuWa. Just give a 2 year anniversary. Pick up. Maybe my corpse will not be complete dead, but like now, bro, I'm struggling with WuWa. And it's like, luckily this game doesn't have like a deadly assault or anything, but actually it does have. Oh wait, it has Whimpering Waste. Maybe Whimpering Waste is the deadly assault. I don't even touch Whimpering Waste because my echoes are so dog shit that I figure I can't do it. Maybe I'll try Whimpering Waste. Like one of these days, my echoes and my stuff will be decent enough geared that I can do Whimpering Waste, and I will upload it into this channel like I'll upload Deadly Assault runs. But for now, it's not happening. Like bro, I'm gonna pull up my best Whimpering Waste time is literally 0 because I don't touch the bird. Never touched it. That's always 0. I'm not even finished the permanent Whimpering Waste shit. Like bro, this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6 pulls. It's a lot of rewards that I'm skipping out. I've missed like what 3 or 4 rotations of Winter's Race, and it feels like ass. This one, I do, but like even here for I'll just go to the fast travel. I haven't done it yet because I want to get good echoes. I'm trying to gear up my characters to do it. Can't do the middle section. I don't have enough teams because I'm dog shit and I can't farm echoes. Someone help me farm echoes. Oh my lord. Overdrive zone. I can't do it still. I have this team. This is like my best team. And my thought was like, oh, I'm going to save H-Kkohaku to use with Zani because, and then y'all saw my Zani substats. They're not good. I couldn't clear this, and this is buffing Spectra, bro. Help! I need help. Someone help me. I'm literally building more techy and shit. Like, bro, someone help! I haven't tried Lupa Encore Mortefi or Lupa Encore Sanwa yet, so maybe I'll do that in this middle stage. This one. Normally I do like solo like Cartathea, and the other one is Arrow Rover and H-Kkohaku, and then I use them together for like one of the 4 stage, and I kind of flap them together for the very last one. Again, I'm going to do this probably tomorrow after church. Once I'm done being forced to go there, I'm going to just try to knock this out and see how well I do. I'm not going to upload these until I feel like I'm actually good enough at this game. I have good substat rolls and shit. If I went through each of my substats on my Zenless Hero account, I have a couple of goddess on that account. So because I've been playing ZZZ since launch, so I just have a lot more rolls done on that thing. In WuWa, I've only been playing since the 1st anniversary, so I think this is like I'm 5 patches in. Zani, H-Kkohaku, Cartathea. Who was before this? Dead Patch, yeah. It was Dead Patch with Brant and Cartathea. Not Cartathea. Bro, why did they release 8 characters that have C in their name? Camellia, I think her name's Camellia. The lady with the lady with the umbrella with the tongue and the jellyfish motif. I can't remember her name. I actually like her as a character, but I can't remember her name. Too many characters with C's. So that was the patch with Brant and her, and then I think this is my 6th patch. So I think that's like I've been playing this game for like 6ish months, and my account's actually older than that. I started in 1 point. Holy shit! When did I start? Bro, I started so old ago. I can't even remember like the character that was like Is it in settings when you start? I actually don't know when I started. I bounced off in like an hour because the story was ass. The 1.0 story to be specifically. I like 2.0 story, and again, we're about to talk about 2.0 in a second. I was just doing a little bit of account review before I do that, but like I don't know where the fuck you're supposed to find your profile. Edit birthday, copy ID, change title. I don't know where it would be, honestly. Where the fuck? Where would it be? No. Okay, someone's going to tell me. Halo Hector is going to watch this because I'm going to link it to him, and he's going to be like, "Oh, you can see when your account was created here," and I'm going to show it. And it's not, like it's way older on Zoni patch, but the 1.0 story literally made me fall asleep because I went up, got dinner, I was like, "Do I want to continue playing WuWa?" No, that story was ass. And then I continued playing it, and Black Store's story was really good and got me into the game fully. But like, oh, 1.0 story is not good, bro. Yeah, okay, so that's it for gameplay wise. So let's do my dailies finally, and while I talk about story. I kind of don't like talking about WuWa stories like right now because it's like we have the first half of the patch, but WuWa does it way differently than ZZZ. Like ZZZ releases all the story at once, and then it does a bunch of mini events that kind of like continue on the story, so you get to enjoy that sort of shit, right? But like, also I still have to do all these. Like I have like probably like 5 or 7 pulls in here that I will do this week. Oh, that's like right. So WuWa does the story a little differently in ZZ. ZZ does one big thing at the very start of the patch, and it has all the story and the character agent story, blah 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 blah. For Wuthering Waves, they do 2. Which one am I supposed to be doing for Bro, they need better organizing. I should be able to pin the one I'm doing. I mean, I can tell based on map. Okay, yeah, I can. Okay, so right now we have the very beginning of the end of the Septimon story, which is supposed to tie into the rest of Rina Sita, which has been Rina and Septimon story has been way better than what they're doing in 1.0. 1.0 story is really, really dog shit at start. And like, bro, I'm surprised this game has people blazing its story because like I've read 1.0. I used my eyeballs to read 1.0. That shit was ass, bro. The way that information was presented in 1.0 was really, really, really bad and boring. But then like, I read into Black Shores, and Black Shore got me in the game. Like I said earlier, it's the thing that hooked me. Like, so I was like, actually started reading the story from 1.0. I mean, not 1.0, I guess 1.7. Like Black Shores 1.7. So I started reading the story from Black Shores. Rina Sita was like surprisingly good. I was not expecting it to be good. But let's talk about the current story, like Septimon. Now that I'm done this, okay. So the very beginning of the story was a little bit slow. It was a little slow. Like, of course, I actually really liked the last patch. I did like a full ass review for it for my friends. Like I wrote up like a whole ass essay about my thoughts on not 1 point something. It'd be 2.5. I think this is 2.6. Stop singing. I wrote up a whole review on 2.5 because I really liked it that much, and I actually called a couple of plot points out before they fully like teased and revealed them or whatever. So I was actually pretty happy about that. So 2.5. Let me wrap this up ahead. Right. So it was Perlova's stuff. So we got the whole like Perlova's character motivations and the reason why she does the shit she does, and we saw her relationship with Rover for the first time. I need heavy attack damage. I'm at dead. Okay, so we saw her relationship with Rover, and we got to see the differences between Rover and Falova, and why they're pretty much enemies at this point. And like, I'm not going to go too deep into 2.5 because this video is already an hour and 13 minutes long. The point is, I think 2.5 was fucking masterclass of writing. I actually like did a deep analysis of it again for my friends, but this one's kind of dead. But let's see. Yeah, now it's completely dead. So I did a deep analysis of 2.5, and I was really seeing. I was kind of interesting because 2.5 set up like a pretty interesting end state. Was going to be carried over into 2.6, and we kind of didn't talk a lot about that instead. We instead, like, there was a little bit of hype done for 2.6 with Augusta, where we got like a mini event that was supposed to explain her backstory to us. It was a new way of showcasing her backstory, essentially. And I'm gonna be real, I really liked the event. It was kind of I guess, like, part of it was sort of because of the fact that the way they did the event is like, it was like choose your own adventure, but since it's a character in the game, the event, you had to choose the right thing. But I think it was done really well done. This might be good. Oh wow, this is actually guaranteed to be decent. Bros, it's a good Resident Slipper. Oh my gosh, this is actually perfect. Holy, thank God. No, wait, no. Equip. We gonna clip this. Which where's the 25 one that I equipped? We're going to replace it with this. Holy, bro! I actually hit the wrong scene thing. Oops. Let me put the. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we got like our Augusta introduction, which is kind of hype moments in Aura, but I love hype moments in Aura, so I was pretty happy with the introduction. We get to see how she feels about Augusta personally, like how Augusta feels about the Rover. We got to see a little bit of her relationship with Yona, and we sort of see like the sort of political landscape of Septimont and how they've so much valued the strong, that the fact that Augusta herself doesn't have like a broken OP power. Like, she's kind of like the antithesis of Cartathea. Like, Cartathea has a super impressive, super broken power in space distortion, but it's like her thing is that she's tied up with a bit of the Thernodian, because the Thernodian is of unity and like trying to unify itself with the Renacita's god, so that it can kind of like you know that mindscape shit in like Persona 5, like the cognizance of people and how it can affect the real world. Blah 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 blah. Point is, the big bad is trying to use like the people's unconscious, like subconscious, and trying to roll them all together so it can have like mass control over everyone and doom humanity, because the Thernodians are pretty much just like an unexplainable force that exists to destroy humanity using all of its weaknesses. So the Thernodians are like just sort of like cosmic balances to prevent humanity from going crazy, I guess. But we don't know why they exist and why they're so fucking evil and why they turned the world upside down and why they got rid of physics, essentially. But point of the matter is, because the Thernodian of Unity is so in deep, it's so unified with Leviathan, which is the Sentinel, like the thing that's supposed to protect against the Thernodian, because the Leviathan has unified itself with Imperator, which is, you know, the actual Sentinel, not Leviathan. Leviathan's a Thernodian. Leviathan's the Thernodians. Imperator is the Sentinel. So because the two are combined right now in a weird mishmashy state, Leviathan's trying to use Leviathan was trying to use Augusta in order to bring about calamity and set itself free, and that's essentially the point of the 2.6 story. The Thernodian is trying to use Augusta in order to set the Dark Tide free, which will wipe over all of humanity and cause it to conjoin, and then mission complete, humanity's gone because its sense of individuality is gone. If the sense of individuality is gone, humans are essentially extinct. Big bang boo, the Thernodians win. That's the plan of Leviathan. But so Augusta is kind of dealing with her inner thoughts, because she is like, she's presented as like she doesn't believe in the faith of like the imperator knowing everything and being able to predetermine things, but you're actually revealed like much later in the story that she's actually been being guided by Leviathan the whole time, because there would be a voice in her ear that would be like, oh, dodge this by doing this, or dodge X by doing this, do this, take this path, fight this person, find who X to be your mentor, and it's been guiding her. And she kind of feels like a bit of a fraud, because like again her forte is not all that impressive, but she's relying on this voice inside her head that she knows is not hers in order to do all this super impressive things. So she's like, so she presents herself as not believing in faith, but like she has that sort of I can't think of the word. That's sort of like mortal question, like, oh, do I actually not believe in faith, considering the fact that I'm doing all this shit because I'm being told by this dude in my back of my head in order to fight like this. And it's really interesting, honestly. And like the fact that at the end of the like, 2.6's end is really, really good. I shouldn't even say at the end, because again, second batch of second half of the patch. I can't speak because I've been speaking for 90 minutes. The second half of the patch is not out, so we don't know how Yono's stories end. Because the big question right now is, because currently, if we look at Augusta's voice lines, she doesn't have thoughts on characters that she should. Is it experience? No. Voice. Yeah, she doesn't have an about Yona. She has an about Angel, about bullying, about Lupa, and about Avidius. And that is weird, considering that Iona is her best friend. So the big working theory is that at the end of 2.6, in order to essentially make, like, because the Thernodian is of unity, and he's deeply tied to Imperator, who is faith, he's kind of hyper nebulous, and the Dark Tide is also sort of nebulous, like, thing. So in order to make him physical so that we can punch fight him, Yona sort of gives up her existence, but it's not explained exactly what her existence that she's giving up is. So the big theory right now is that, considering the fact that the big thing is Lupa, she had a voice line about Yono, but it got changed like really recently, to be less specific. Like she had one that like called her out by name and said that, oh, I know this priestess lady that comes by in the church. I don't really believe in faith, but I know about her. And then right now it changed to be something much more inspecific. It's like, oh, priestess lady, Yono, I don't know who that is, but I've seen a lady like that. Like, so the voice lines about Yono has changed. So it's like the big thing is like everyone's being like, oh, okay, so she's been forgotten. And the second half is going to be dealing, because Augusta at the end of the story says something sort of weird. Like she says, "Oh, Rover, you're the first one I'm telling this to," which doesn't make sense because it's information that Yono already knows. So the big working theory is that Yono gave up her existence, and existence in this state is like in this train of thought is that her existence is like everyone's memories of her. So she gave that up in order for us to be able to destroy the Dark Tide. Although we know the Dark Tide's not completely gone, because Gabrina is in the second half of the story, and her whole thing is that she's going to be punch fighting everyone who has to deal with Thernodian, starting with Cartathea. Now, the big train of thought in the community is that Cartathea is going to kick her ass, because again, Cartathea's forte is broken. It's busted. It's not like everyone's forte is like normally around A, B tier. There's some broken fortes, like Encore's forte. Like, why is this bitch bending reality? Like hers is like broken, but like Cartathea's is more broken than Encore's forte, which is crazy, right? So like, you know, how are they supposed to deal with that? So everyone's like, oh, because Gabrina is the big train of thought right now is that Gabrina is Angel from Augusta's backstory, who was being sought out by the Dark Tide because her power was really strong, and the Dark Tide wanted to use it for itself or get rid of it if it couldn't have it. And we know that Gabrina is empowered by a dark shadow, and we see that dark shadow when she's fighting off the Dark Tide in the story. So, and also Gabrina is portmanteau of angel. It has the letters for angel in Gabrina. So if that's true, the WuWa does cooked with that name, because I would not have figured out that angel is a part of Gabrina's name without someone else having told me. But it also makes me super duper interested in what happens in the last half of 2.6. 2.6 ending with Yona and Gabrina and Cartathea might be like Omega Peak, or it might be super befuddled. I think like ever since Black Shores, the stories have been at least good. Like, not all of them have been super amazing, but they've been at least good. I think 2.0 was a little weak. Like, everyone ships Zani and Phoebe together because of gameplay and story reasons, because they sort of like assist you at the beginning of 2.0 and 2.1. Honestly, I think 2.0, 2.1 were kind of weak. I mean, I played them after they were like new, so I was playing it with a little bit later after all the hype died down. But I think those were kind of weak. I liked 2.2, 2.3 with the festival and Carlotta and the mansion. And I think Cantarella, bro, I finally remembered her name literally 40 minutes after I started talking about WuWa. Cantarella's character story was really, really, really good. I loved her character story. It's one of the few ones that I did already, on top of Zani's, because I really like Zani. I did Yinlin's character story on accident, and it was good. Like, I think Wuthering Waves character stories are all way stronger than Zenless Zone Steer's character stories. I think Seed is like on the same tier, if not slightly better than Cantarella and Zani's character story. I think Zani's character story, despite her being my favorite character, is kind of weak. It's a nice backstory and it's kind of fun, but it's like it's okay. I think with all that said and done, I know these are kind of rambly. Like, they're both my thoughts on the story, my account catch up, and also that sort of nonsense. But I think that's kind of what makes these sort of fun. Like, again, it's like 2 hours of me talking about gacha shit. I normally don't upload gacha shit onto my channel. I'm going to probably start doing a couple more uploads of gacha stuff, but it's going to be like more like, oh, I routed this fight in order to do it slightly faster with tools I have available to me. It's essentially just speedrunning. I already upload speedrunning on my channel. The first stuff I upload on this channel is speedruns. I'm just going to keep a buck. If I like a run that I did, that I bought to record it, you're going to see it on this channel. So just expect Deadly Assault runs and expect Whimpering Waste whenever I get good enough gear to do that. And I think with all that said and done, that's it for my gacha talk. That's 90 minutes of gacha yapping. Did I do my dailies? Oh, I did, because I upgraded the level of the Echo once. Now let's see, arrow damage bonus discarded. See, I'm close to union level 70, so that's almost like 5 pulls, and then I gotta do 75 to 80, which I got a whole bunch of side stories that I gotta go through, and all this nonsense will get me to level 80 essentially. And with that, I think we're finally done. 90 minutes of me talking about gacha, but I think I'm going to quickly wrap this up by talking about the story once more, because I know I was going all over the place with the stories. I'm just going to quickly give my thoughts on the 2.6 story for Wuthering Waves in a manner that is not completely wandering. Okay. So when it comes to the 2.6 story, I think the political nonsense, well, not the political nonsense, it's kind of mean. I think the political landscape of Sentiment was done really well. I think the religious ties to the prophecy and how all these maidens are seeing into a fire in order to get a glimpse of a future that's about to come to pass that we're sort of scared of, but we don't know all about because it's going to be in 2.6. I mean, the second half of 2.6 was really well done. I think the story was good, even though I heard a lot of complaints about the part where you go into Augusta's like sonora sphere and you see like the sonora spheres as past. I actually thought that was like one of the best parts of the story. Like when you saw Augusta as a child and you saw her like, oh, you enter into Halo's I think it's Heroes Hollow, I think that's the name of the place, where the Legends of Heroes Hollow, where people go and get amazing awakenings. Her awakening is super duper shitty and she goes there anyway, and she still is a hero, and she puts in the work in order to be like an amazing person, despite the fact her forte is dog shit compared to the bullshit that they have in this world. Like, in our world, like as a power, electromagnetism as a power is not weak, but in the case of fighting versus TDs and other people, it's really weak in the case of what other people have in this world, but she puts in the work to make it work. Like, she's impressive despite the fact her forte is weak in the context of the setting that she's in, and her story and the story about her that is done about her, and Alvinus, the dude that they've introduced, is super duper cool. I actually hope he's playable, but there's a big chance that he is a Christopher creation, and that he made him in order to be a villainous role or to set things up for the second half of 2.6. We will see more about Alvinus as more shit about him gets announced in 2.6. I hope he's playable and he's allowed to be cool, but it's looking like he's going to be like a creation or an unwitting tool of evil. The story again was really good. Like, I really liked. I know I'm kind of tripping over my words, but I just want to make sure I have all my thoughts on the story in here. In some case, even if it's just a little rambly. Like I said, the political stuff was good. The ties with the Yona and the religion and the whole faith quandary and the whole being there for each other, I think that was all well done. The Sonora Sphere part, again, was my favorite. Like, the part where you enter into Murmur's town and you hear all that like religious talk in the background with the stoned where the dark tide takes away their peacefulness of death. I think that's all well done. I think the setting and mood of Murmur's town was really good. I loved, like, I really like Augusta. I have type when it comes to characters. Like, I love, like, I almost played Genshin because of Arcana. I played this game because of Zani. I hopped back on because of Zani. And Augusta, I had to pull for. I'm literally going to buy a top-up pack for $80 in order to get her weapon. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry. I like women. I like women who swing big weapons and are super cool and do it with finesse and like pants. I mean, I guess it's toga pants, but turquoise skirt, I guess. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like the end of the story where Augusta is in the belly of the beast and she reaches out to the voices of her past, everyone who supported her, and she's like, the whole thing is that, again, Augusta's power sucks, but she's puts in the work, but she doesn't forget the people who rose her up, who, you know, all the fights that she's made, all the people that she's fought, that they're part of her, and that's why she wields all their weapons into one. She's like the hero of Septimount because she's the culmination of the whole strength equals power, strength equals responsibility thing. So she's really cool, and her story, because of that, you know, cheesy but cool concept, is able to do a lot of cool things, and have a whole bunch of themes based around, and have a whole bunch of set pieces based around Augusta's character. I really liked 2.6. I'm probably going to like script something so I can say my thoughts on 2.6 better than how I said it right now. There's this dude by the name of, I can't remember his name. Let me pull up my Discord, because I think Halo Hector pinged me with the name of this dude's shit. From Halo Hector. I have him on my watch later. As link. Give me a second. I know the video's already an hour 30 minutes long. Y'all can wait like 10 minutes, I think. Yes, Fat Fluffy Penguin. I need to watch his analysis videos, because like I was watching his a little bit of his Philovia video, and I was like, whoa, the very beginning is some of the deeper thoughts I had on the story, and there's like 20 more minutes of this shit. I probably will keep it into the back and I will watch it later. I will do that after I record this Melty Blood video, probably later tonight. I do want to make analysis stuff for WuWa, even though I'm more interested in gameplay. Like, the reason I even played this game at all is because the gameplay looked interesting from a Zenless Zone Zero player, and I think the gameplay is like really good. Although I don't know. I think endgame ZZZ, where you're managing buffs and debuffs and all that sort of nonsense, I think Nicole, despite her being Omega fucking broken, is super duper interestingly balanced, because she only has 5 seconds on her debuff, so you need to manage that 5-second debuff really well and time it well, and she can apply a whole bunch of ways, so you're kind of incentivized to do a whole bunch of cool swap cancels. And it's like Zenless Zone Zero is like the perfect like sandbox game for me, where it's like my inner speedrunner could come out and play in that game. What in this game, I don't really feel that yet because I assume it's because I'm just not deep enough into the end game. But I assume that will change as I play more. But like right now, Zenless Zone Zero combat has been gripping me a lot more than Wuthering Waves. But I assume that's just like a skill issue thing and like build issue thing. So I assume as I get into like Whimpering Waves, that it will soon become like, oh, okay, yeah, whoa, this is the part where my inner speedrunner gets to have some fun and get to do some cool runs, right? So I assume I'm getting like skill checked right now, but we'll see how that works later. I think I have enough for a 10 pull. Convene 10. You know what? Fuck it. I'll do. Oh shit! I almost said on the wrong banner. I'll do the 10 pull and then cut it off. It's not gonna be anything good, probably. Yep. Dog shit. Well, 40 rolls left in order to get a guaranteed, and I'll let you guys know if I win the 50-50 on Short Keeper. See ya. Oh wait, I kind of fucked up on describing the story, but you know what? How many chances have I had at like making this not bad? Too many. So I'm just going to set you all free and record this Melty Blood video before I forget, or I can't be bothered to. Also, I'm still not done with A ranks in this game, which is unfortunate because once you max A ranks, you get like a lot more pulls because you get so many more refunds. Having a Zenless Zone Zero account with all the A ranks maxed is one of those like blessings they don't tell you about in life. That's super good to have. I mean, I'm going to have to buy 732 more of these in order for this get this damn skin anyway. So the fact that I use 95 on this stupid skin is fine to me. Is whatever. Because again, I gotta buy a top-up pack anyway, so it's whatever. That's it. I think that's it for real this time. I'm going to just hit the button. Peace.